What's up, guys? Ethan here. I wanted to make a quick video for all my fellow landlords out there to give y'all a heads up about a scam that someone just tried to pull on me. And a lot of us have seen the fake pay stubs, fake landlord references at past addresses, maybe even the fake security deposit, some sort of Western Union money transfer thing. And this one's a little bit more sophisticated. So here's how it all went down. And there were admittedly a lot of red flags along the way, but you want to hope, you want you want to believe that maybe it's just a coincidence and they actually are a great tenant, because there's been times where there were other red flags and everything ended up working out fine for me with past tenants. So let me tell you all about this situation. So, first red flag. I post on Zillow. Shortly after the post goes live, this woman hits me up and starts asking some questions about the unit. She kind of takes a while to reply and isn't the most responsive. And then she follows up with a message: Hey, can you give me your WhatsApp so we can message on there? Because I don't really check this app often, or the notifications aren't coming through, some bogus reason like that. And this should be red flag number one, right? Getting them off the platform so their account doesn't get banned if they try to pull some scam. However, Zillow is a little bit clunky to message on, I'll admit it, and WhatsApp is objectively easier. So I obliged. What do I have to lose at this point? And we get to messaging on there. We talk a bit, set up a tour. She asked for virtual because she says that she's in LA and moving to Minnesota, where I'm from, for a job. Not necessarily a red flag. I just had a tenant move from a different state and did the whole thing virtual, and they've turned out great. So I don't think too much of it. And her area code matches LA, so that checks out at least. And we go to do the tour, the virtual tour, and the first time when it's scheduled, she doesn't show up. Not necessarily the end of the world. Any landlord knows people love to not show up for tours. So I don't think too much of it. I text her. She ends up hitting me back a few hours later saying, oh, something came up and I lost track of time. Pretty unprofessional, but it's just the reality of listing a unit these days, unfortunately. So we rescheduled a time for the next day, and I'm going to be over there painting anyway. So what do I have to lose? Next day rolls around. I'm there. I give her a video call at the time that answers, and she picks up. So this is a potential green flag. She's at least showing her real physical face. So she's running some sort of scam, right? That's one potential green flag. So we do the tour, and she seems a bit skeptical about the place. Not overly skeptical, but not oddly excited or anything that struck me as odd. So we go through it. She asked some questions. She said she wants to think about it and mull it over. So I say, no problem, go for it. I honestly thought that that was the last that I would hear from her. But as things go on, she starts messaging me more questions. I say, reach out with any follow-up questions. So she's asking all the typical ones: laundry, utilities, all those sorts of things, the internet situation. And then here is the red flag that you guys should watch out for. Since she's moving, she asks if she would be able to ship some items, some furniture that she would order to the property ahead of time for her before her lease starts. And it's kind of inconvenient, but I live only a mile away from the property, so I thought, sure, why not? She seems like she would be a good tenant, so I could accommodate that request. Don't think too much of it. But as things go on, this is where it starts getting more and more suspicious. We're discussing the pet policy, and she says, oh, I don't have any pets. Don't worry about that. My pet died. My dog died 3 years ago, and it's been too hard to get a pet ever since just because of the heartbreak. I think this is kind of oversharing, but maybe she's just a yapper, right? And I get it with pets. People are very passionate. I have a couple cats myself, so I get that and try to empathize with her and redirect her to discussions about the actual unit and the application. And then she asked me as a follow up, do you have any pets yourself? Because I said, oh, I get it. And I said, yes, I have two cats. Again, trying to redirect. And then she hits me with this, which obviously a scam. Oh, that's so sweet. You seem like such a kind hearted landlord. Maybe once I move there, I could come over to your house and see your cats. They sound really cute. Oh, sorry, am I bothering you? I know it's a Saturday and you're probably busy with your wife and kids. Which, okay, no woman would ever hit on a random landlord that she video called with for 2 minutes from another state. Especially, she was fairly good looking, so I'm sure she is not wanton for men's attention, to be quite honest. And I'm pretty good looking too, but not that good looking. So I knew from this point, definitely a scam. So I start connecting the dots, right? And I plug the whole thing into Claude, of course, my favorite AI tool. And I realize and am alerted of this package mule scam, which was the whole thing with the items that she would ask to have shipped there. And here's basically how it all goes down. They ask to ship the items to the unit before they live there, and then you, trying to be a nice person, accommodate them and move the packages inside. Not a big deal, you'd think. And I thought, okay, how are they going to profit off of that? But here's how it all works. The packages are bought, the furniture or laptops, electronics, basically whatever they have sent there, are bought with stolen credit cards. And then once you move them inside, you're taking possession of the stolen goods. Still a little unclear to me how they profit off that, but from there, it goes one of two ways. The first way is they end up not coming at all and say, hey, something came up and I'm not going to be able to come. I'm not going to be able to move after all. Can you please ship those items to me at this address in a different state? And I'll pay for the shipping and even like pay you some money on top of that as an inconvenience. So you oblige. Well, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. And if you do, then you're mailing stolen goods across state lines, unknowingly incriminating yourself, becoming the fall guy. Or they actually have someone show up, maybe them, maybe someone impersonating them, or a fake friend or family member. And from there, they pick up the items and then are never seen from again. They might even pay you the security deposit, but it's all bogus just so they can ship all this stolen stuff to your property under your name and then go off into the wind. So landlords, if you haven't seen this, watch out for it. Maybe you're new to the landlord game and you haven't had someone try and scam you before. Maybe you're more experienced and actually have had all this stuff happen, but maybe haven't seen this scam specifically. Obviously, in retrospect, there were some red flags, but you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But stay safe out there, landlords. These scammers are relentless.